Welcome to Crash Concepts, where the economy, energy, and the environment are explored. Up next, fresh ideas and insights into the factors that are driving the world and shaping your future. Presenting information you can't afford to live without, here's Chris Martenson.
Hello, it's November 16th, 2010. This is Chris Martenson of chrismartenson.com. And today we're going to be speaking with Ted Butler, silver analyst and champion, about the silver markets. Welcome, Ted.
Hey, Chris. Good to be here.
Well, it's a real pleasure to have you here. As we were just talking about before this started, I've been following you for years, and I just have been a real fan of your work, and I love the analytical approach you bring to it and the calm determination that you've shown over the years in analyzing the silver market. So this is a real pleasure for me.
Those are real kind words. I much appreciate it.
Well, so you've become one of the preeminent commentators on the silver market over the years. So I'm wondering, can you give our listeners a quick history of your background, the expertise you've developed, and how you came to be interested in silver?
Well, I'm going to have to condense perhaps 25 or more years, 30 years into a very short time frame, so forgive me if it's, I'll try and keep it simple. I started out as a commodity broker trainee at Merrill Lynch, I'd guess around 1971 or 2. Spent about 5 years at Merrill, then went on to Drexel Burnham Lambert in the Miami office for about 10 years or so. And along the way, I became in the mid-'80s attracted towards silver at the urging of a client who's still a very good friend, Izzy Friedman, who issued me the challenge back in the mid-'80s to basically answer a puzzle he had. He had been trading the silver market very profitably for years and had approached me knowing that I did tend to dig into things, and he issued me a challenge that, look, I'm invested in silver. The statistics show that we're producing less than we're consuming, and in spite of this deficit consumption pattern, the price just doesn't go up, and it was about $4 or $5 in that range, and just stuck on a flat line for many years. And I kind of thought, well, I'll be able to look at this and give him a quick answer and be done with it and on to the next thing. But I got stuck. I couldn't come up with an answer as to why the price of silver wasn't moving according to the law of supply and demand. It's what we send our kids to school, hopefully to learn, is, supply, demand, and price. And the price basically serves as a fulcrum to balancing supply and demand. Yet that wasn't happening in silver, and I didn't have the answer, and I kept looking. And fortunately, because of my background in futures for so many years at that time, one day it just dawned on me. It was a eureka moment, and it dawned on me that the open interest, the amount of contracts committed on the COMEX, the main silver exchange in the world, basically was out of line when you converted it to real-world supplies and did the same exercise for every other commodity that was traded. You came up with this tremendous aberration in silver, and which led me further to discover that the reason the price was not responding to supply and demand was because the open interest, the long and short paper position, was so much greater than it should have been and greater than production and world supplies at that time, that it was the short position basically was serving as a oversupply factor and depressing the price. When I uncovered this information, I did the upstanding thing, I thought at the time, by going to the commodity regulators, both the CFTC and the exchange itself, and presented the evidence, and they basically told me to go away. It was no problem. But I persisted, and over the years, much later, thanks to the introduction of the Internet and the mailings that Investment Rarities started to do back in around the year 2000, I was able to get the word out and that there was a manipulation